There's a moment in everyone's skincare journey when the mirror starts telling a more complicated story than before. Not dramatically different, not overnight, but slowly, like small changes accumulating in silence. The glow doesn't feel as bright, the texture isn't as smooth, and the skin that once felt effortlessly balanced starts asking for a little more attention. And that's usually when serums enter the conversation. Not as just another skincare step, but as the quiet disruptor that changes everything. Because unlike basic moisturizers or cleansers that focus on the surface, serums feel different. They're concentrated, targeted, and designed to reach deeper layers of care. They're the products people don't always understand at first, but once they do, they rarely go back. Today, we're stepping into a carefully curated exploration of some of the most talked about face serums making waves right now. Not through hype, not through marketing promises, but through the kind of honest reputation they've built through consistent results, real experiences, and ongoing attention from skincare enthusiasts around the world. And while every skin type tells its own story, these serums have earned their place by speaking to a wide range of concerns from dryness and dullness to uneven texture, visible aging signs, and sensitivity that needs a gentler touch. But before diving deeper, here's something worth pausing on. Most people think glowing skin is about finding a single perfect product. In reality, it's about understanding what your skin is trying to communicate, and once you start listening, serums become less about trends and more about translation. So let's begin there. Imagine a serum designed to deeply hydrate without feeling heavy, the kind that sinks into the skin almost instantly, leaving behind a soft, replenished finish. These formulas often rely on moisture-binding ingredients that help the skin retain hydration throughout the day. People who use them consistently often describe their skin as feeling more resilient, more comfortable, and less prone to that tight, dry sensation that shows up after cleansing. Then there are serums built around brightness and clarity. These are the ones people reach for when their skin looks tired, uneven, or lacks that natural radiance. They don't change the skin overnight, but over time, they help restore a more even appearance. Many of these formulas are built around antioxidant-rich blends that support the skin against environmental stress. The result people talk about most isn't just brightness, it's vitality. That refreshed look that feels like the skin is finally waking up again. And somewhere in between hydration and brightness, there's a category that focuses on balance. These serums often target oiliness and breakouts while still respecting the skin barrier. They've become especially popular among those who want clarity without stripping their skin. The experience is usually described as a gradual calming effect, less congestion, fewer sudden flare-ups, and a smoother overall texture that feels more stable over time. Now here's where things get even more interesting. A secondary wave of attention has shifted towards serums that focus on skin resilience and long-term care. These are not quick-fix solutions. Instead, they're built around supporting the skin's natural structure, encouraging it to feel firmer, more supported, and more balanced as time goes on. People who incorporate these into their routine often talk about subtle changes that become more noticeable with consistency skin that feels stronger, more even, and more refined in appearance. At this point, you might be wondering which of these actually matters most. That's where the truth becomes more personal than product-based. Because skincare isn't a universal formula. What feels transformative for one person might feel average for another. And that's why the serums gaining the most attention right now aren't just the ones with the loudest claims, they're the ones with the widest adaptability. There are also formulas that lean into calming and soothing properties, designed for skin that reacts easily or feels overwhelmed by environmental changes. These serums often feel almost weightless. Yet they carry a sense of comfort that people notice quickly. The skin appears less irritated, less reactive, and more settled. For many users, this becomes the quiet foundation of their entire routine. Then come the more advanced formulations, those that incorporate renewal-focused ingredients designed to support smoother texture and visible refinement over time. These are often the serums people approach carefully at first, but eventually come to appreciate for their gradual, noticeable impact. They're not about instant transformation, but about steady improvement that builds layer by layer. And of course, there are the glow-enhancing serums that seem to sit at the intersection of everything hydration, brightness, and smoothness all in one experience. These are the ones that often get described as skin refreshers, bringing back a natural luminosity that feels effortless rather than artificial. Now, here's a moment worth paying attention to, because as these serums become more popular, something subtle is happening in the skincare world. People are shifting away from chasing dramatic, overnight changes and moving toward routines that feel sustainable. They're looking for products that support their skin rather than challenge it, formulas that work with their natural rhythm instead of forcing transformation. And that shift is changing how we define best altogether. It's no longer about intensity, it's about consistency. Not about perfection, but about progress that feels real. Some of the most respected serums in this space come from brands known for science-led formulations and minimalist approaches. Others come from newer skincare innovators who focus on blending natural extracts with modern skincare technology. What they all share is a focus on experience the way the serum feels on the skin, the way it integrates into a routine, and the way it supports long-term skin health without overwhelming it. If there's a common thread connecting all of these, it's trust. Trust built through repeated use, through subtle but noticeable changes, through the kind of results that don't need exaggeration, because they speak for themselves. And maybe that's the real secret behind why serums have become such an essential part of skincare conversations today. They don't promise to change who you are. They simply aim to bring your skin closer to its most comfortable, balanced version. Now, if you've made it this far, you might already be thinking about your own routine, maybe wondering what your skin has been asking for. Hydration, brightness, calm, balance, renewal, or maybe a combination of all of them in different ways. That's the beauty of this category. It doesn't force you into one direction. It adapts with you. And as skincare continues to evolve, serums remain at the center of that evolution, not as a passing trend, but as a steady presence in routines across the world. Quietly powerful, consistently relevant, always adapting. What makes serums stand out isn't simply the ingredients they contain, but the role they play in helping people build a more thoughtful relationship with their skin. Instead of offering a one-size-fits-all solution, they encourage a more personalized approach, one that recognizes that skin changes with age, seasons, lifestyle, and even daily stress. The serum that works perfectly today may not be the one your skin needs 6 months from now, and that's part of what makes this category so dynamic. As research continues to uncover new ingredients and better formulations, today's serums have become more refined than ever before. They're designed not only to target specific concerns like dehydration, uneven tone, or fine lines, but also to support the skin's natural barrier and overall resilience. Rather than overwhelming the skin with harsh treatments, many modern formulas focus on working alongside its natural processes, helping it maintain balance over time. This shift reflects a broader change in the way people think about skincare. More than ever, the conversation has moved away from chasing instant transformations and toward embracing gradual, sustainable progress. Instead of expecting dramatic overnight results, people are learning to appreciate the small improvements that build with consistency. Skin that feels healthier, looks more even, and responds better to everyday challenges. In the end, the true value of a serum isn't measured by bold promises or temporary trends. It's measured by how naturally it becomes part of a routine, how comfortably it fits into everyday life, and how consistently it helps the skin feel balanced, supported, and cared for. And that's why, even as skincare continues to change, serums remain one of its most trusted and enduring essentials. Before we wrap up, there's something worth reflecting on. Skincare is often treated like a destination, but in reality, it's more like a relationship. One that changes over time, one that requires attention, patience, and understanding. And serums, in many ways, become the language of that relationship. They help translate what your skin is experiencing into something you can actually respond to. So whether you're just starting to explore serums or refining a routine you've had for years, the goal isn't to chase perfection. It's to notice what works, what feels right, and what brings your skin closer to comfort. Because at the end of the day, the best skincare isn't about transformation that feels drastic. It's about results that feel like your skin, only better rested, better balanced, and more in tune with itself. If this deep dive helped you rethink your approach to serums or gave you a clearer direction for your routine, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. Your experiences might help someone else figure out their own path. And if you enjoy content like this, where skincare is explored with honesty, depth, and clarity, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who's trying to build a better routine for their skin. Until next time, take care of your skin, but more importantly, understand it.